Welcome to the Daily Question. This is your guide to greatness, Troy Hoffman, where we help you find, follow, and finish your course of destiny by asking simple questions that bring you profound insight and transformation to your life. Now, let's get into the question of the day. So the question of the day is this: what is the first company you started, and what was the lesson that I learned? It's funny, when that question came up, I actually thought of a few different things, but actually the first real company I started, which was actually not really a company, but actually had a framework of a company, was actually called Suds Brothers Car Service. No lie. I was already detailing cars and kind of walking around and asking neighbors and stuff when I was like 13, 14 years old, if I could go and detail their cars. Well, my buddy Jared's like, yeah, let's do this. Let's make a business out of this. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. What do we do? And he's like, we need a flyer. And I'm like, okay, yes, we need a flyer. What a great idea. And I was like, where do we get a flyer? How do we make one? I was like, well, can we make it on the computer? Well, yeah, but we really can't print it. We don't have graphics yet. And this is like, the graphic programs, like these banner programs on like, they had like little dots that you actually ran through your printer. It was like this printer paper that actually had like little holes in it. And so we had to go to the local, like, it was like a Walgreens or something that was actually in the local mall. And we convinced the guy at the thing to make us a banner. And he actually put all these like little bubbles on it. And he actually put some cool fonts on it. And he's like, you need your prices. And I was like, okay, yeah. And he's like, you should have different prices. You can't just charge the same thing. I was like, we're like, yeah, that's right. A van's a lot more work, right? So we need to have a car, a small car, a large car, and like a van. He's like, yeah, that'd be better for you guys. We're like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, man. So this guy actually guided us through pricing, design, and really helped us lock down our name all in like one conversation. I mean, it was fantastic. It was the best marketing sales advice, like the basics. Get clear in your pricing, get clear in the outcome, get clear in your offer right from the beginning. And he's like, well, what do you get? What do they get? They just get a wash or they get a wax? We're like, oh, no, they get a wash and a wax. Well, you can do the tires too? Oh yeah, we'll do the tires. You know, and he's just kind of like, are you going to vacuum the inside? We're like, yeah. He's like, well, put that on there too. We're like, oh yeah, it's a great idea. So he helped us really refine our offer. And that was like one of the first lessons I learned was from this random guy running the graphics machine. It was like a very higher end. I think it was probably an Apple computer he was running it off of, and it had a great printer. And he actually had like colored paper, and he's like, do you want white? But he's like, yeah, that's kind of boring. You know, what you guys really want is colored paper. That's more attractive. We're like, yeah. So what a great idea. And we're like 14 years old, had zero clue. And it was like that first marketing lesson was how to quickly build the framework of what should people acknowledge from you? Like, what is your brand? And he made us really look really sharp. 2, what is your package you are really offering, and what are the benefits to the customer? And he clearly nailed that. I forget what was the tagline he had. He's like, he came up with, I got to find this flyer now, actually. I'm sure it's somewhere in a box somewhere. I'm hoping to God it's there because it was awesome. So literally had a tagline, take your dirty car to clean car, or something like that. I mean, it was just like bam, bam, bam. And we got a ton of business from this. We actually got a old school phone line, a second phone line at the house, convinced my parents to set that up with its own little, this is like old school days of like there was tapes they had to do in the little phone recorders that were the, like the landlines were connected to the recorders in those days. And people started calling as we passed it out. And I think at the bottom he says, run by the local youth of the area. Boom. And so they knew they were about to get kids. And when we showed up, they were super excited. The pricing was awesome. The graphics, they loved our flyer. People said, yeah, we're the first person to ever drop a really great looking flyer. And they were like, we just can imagine that your service is going to be equal to that flyer. So that was like one of the first things I learned was like how to really market yourself, market your message, and get clear on your offer right from the beginning. Well, folks, thank you again for listening in today and opening up and allowing me to speak into your life. If you are interested in submitting a question, you can go to troyhoffman.com/daily question. Also, enter in your email address and name to get updates on future events, programs, and offers, and more impactful teachings we are doing for the world. You can also go to Instagram and follow me at Hoffman Troy, and find me on Facebook and LinkedIn under Troy Hoffman. Thank you, folks, and now go and live your destiny.